Hey, what's up everybody, my name is Cap and welcome back to the channel, another 7 Days to Die video. Now this one, I want to show you guys a few popular console commands that you can use within the game. There are tons and tons of commands to use. I'm just going to show some that I think are really beneficial to everybody, and I'll put a link in the video description to a list of all the known console commands so you can go through and kind of see, because there's a lot of them that are more geared towards like server usage than anything else. So, first things first, how to access the console, just in case you don't know how. If you hit escape and go into your options, under controls, you can see what button you have to push to access the console up at the very top. It shows F1 for me. So hit F1 and now you get the black box across the top here where you can start typing. First thing I'll show you guys how to access is one I've kind of showed you before, but it's important to know here, is if you just type in the DM command and hit enter, it'll turn the debug menu on. So now when you hit escape and pause it, over in the far right hand side, you got access to all these different game setting changes here. You can access the spawn menu if you want to. It gives you access to a lot of other options. Now from within the console again, if you type CM, that's short for cheat menu, a creative mode basically. And with that on, if you open up your inventory, you'll see up at the top right, you have this light bulb now. When you click it, this is going to take you into creative mode where you have access to every single item in the game. You can sort by different kinds of items that you want to or search for them, but if you're just really wanting to just play around and just do some building, creative mode is how you go about doing that. Okay, this next command is really cool. If you type in the word lights, plural, and hit enter, you're going to see it's going to all of a sudden change your world to this weird set of colors. And what this does is it goes through and shows up all the light emitting objects within the area you are, candles, campfires, etc. So if you're trying to figure out where your light source is coming from, of course as the players you walk around, it emits a little bit of light as you're highlighting stuff to walk around, but you can see like right over here the house has got a whole lot of stuff going on in it, because I may have stuff in there that I'm creating light sources like candles and torches and campfires or whatever like that. So this one's a really cool one to use. Another really useful one to have is to be able to change the time. Now if you don't use the debug menu, you can use the set time command and you can manually select the specific time you want to. Now everything's in military time, so you have to keep that in mind. And if you want to try and go more than just one day in advance, you have to add the entire time on there. So like I say, I want to set it to 2 o'clock in the afternoon on day 5. That'd be 110,000 set time, and it changes the time for me back up to the way it is. Again, like I said, you can use the debug command over here if you want to manually slide it around, of course, but if you're just wanting to set it really specifically, you can. Another useful command is the weather command, and this one allows you to actually change the weather, and all you have to do is just type in weather and then the entity you want to do. So if you want to try and make it rain, you type in weather space rain and then 1 before turning it on, and you'll see it's going to start raining. And then if you want to turn it off, you just type in weather rain 0. Same thing works for clouds. You can do it for snow. And now you have a nice little snowy area here. And change it back and forth. So that one's kind of useful if you're just wanting to kind of modify the environment where you are, if you're making a custom map, or if you're just tired of it raining in the area you are, you can go through and manually change a lot of the weather commands. Another useful option having in the commands is to be able to spawn stuff. So let's say you want to spawn a supply crate. You can just spawn it in, and it will go through and spawn a supply crate right on top of you here. So you don't have to wait for the airplane to come by or specific days there. Now, if you really want to get crazy, something else you can spawn is you can type in spawn wandering horde. And what that's going to do is it's going to spawn a screamer off in the distance, and they're going to come towards the direction in which you actually spawn. So the screamer will spawn in, and then the screamer will cause other zombies to actually spawn in with it, and they'll go towards the direction in which you actually use the spawn. And if you're just in a really big bind and you need to get out of something, another command you can use is type in kill all. Hit enter, and everything that's living in the general area will die. And so that's a good way to kind of clear out the zombies if you're trying to work in an area. Again, these are all stuff you wouldn't use if you're just kind of messing around in the game. Doing this kind of stuff while you're actually playing obviously would take away from some of the fun. And lastly, if you're just really needing help with something, you can just type in the word help, and this will bring up a list of all the available commands you have, and you can scroll up and down there. Or if you need something specific, you can type in like help weather, and this will bring up all the information you can use just for that one command. So if you're just not quite sure how to use a specific command, you can just use the help command, of course. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. This will keep this real short and simple. Like I said, there's a ton of commands, and if you want to read through all of them, you can see them in the link in the video description down below. Hopefully you found this useful, and maybe it'll inspire you to be a little bit more creative in the game, having access to a little bit more than just the standard here. If you found the video useful, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe for future videos. Thank you guys so much for your time. You have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later.